Oh, well, we're inside today. A little cold and wet outside. What I wanted to talk to you about today is how global climate change is looking. There's a lot of information out there, but let's first go over to Greenland, which is in a catastrophic meltdown. So what is happening in Greenland is huge waterfalls of gigantic proportion falling off the Greenland ice sheet. If we use this as a building, let's say that that's the Orange Man's Tower, that compares to how big these waterfalls are. Here's another building over there. Here's a cruise ship in comparison. Huge ice chunks, really seriously. A lot of melting, a lot of catastrophe happening in Greenland, even though we're now into winter. But last summer was just devastating. And the Orange Man, is he paying attention to this? The scientists sure are putting all kinds of warnings out about what's happening. But the Orange Man, he's worried about his button size. Unfortunately, we had a giant uptick in methane readings last month. Apparently, they think that those earthquakes in the Atlantic triggered possibly some methane eruptions from the ocean, along with a large methane release, yes, in the far North Pole Ocean regions, possibly a gigantic methane release in the shallower area. They don't know where the methane came from, but they know it came from somewhere in the northern hemisphere in the oceans. Now, we've seen a few earthquakes in the Atlantic Ocean, mid-ridge, far north. There could be just normal earthquake activity of the seafloor spreading up there, or it could have been methane releases. We don't know. We're watching it. CO2 count is going off the charts. So a group of scientists have looked into a lot of where the methane is coming from. And they said a good third of all the methane outflow on the planet is now coming from the meat industry. Think about reducing your consumption of meat. Study how to become a successful vegetarian and wean yourself slowly off of meat and onto the proteins that come from nuts, seeds, and berries. And don't forget your beans, your black beans, your kidney beans, all the beans you can eat are good for you for getting protein that you don't get if you don't eat meat. So I wanted to make a little comment about the last video, about why I feel like I do about the Democratic Party. This is the situation. We are getting more and more desperate here in the U.S. The numbers are going up faster and faster. We don't have time to change the party. We really don't. We were late 10 years ago to working on a fix for this. We're so late now that it's on the verge of catastrophe. We're not going to make it if we don't change. Explore the possibilities of being a vegetarian and what you can do with your mouth. As I've always said, your most powerful tool is your mouth. And by not eating meat, you're right up there at the top. So think about it. Keep thinking about it. Maybe don't buy as much meat as you did last week. Each week, buy a little less meat. Work into it slowly. And remember, every time you eat a piece of meat, an animal had to die. So, what is the Orange Man doing about all this desperation, all this terrible science coming out? What's he doing? He is working on opening up all offshore drilling, east and west coast, Gulf of Mexico, and all around Alaska. He has already started putting in infrastructure in our pristine wilderness areas in Alaska. The road building has already started. Our precious, once was pristine Alaska is becoming no more. Not a single protest, nothing's being done. Do whatever you can to stop the Orange Man from opening up all the drilling. And what does that mean? No, you don't go out and break windows and all that. You stop driving as much. You stop consuming plastic stuff so much. You go for the high-end, high-quality items so that they last a very long time and are worth recycling at the end. So I certainly do appreciate everybody trying to work to replace the orange man with somebody else. But replacing him with a Oprah Winfrey, that's not what we need. We need someone with a science background, with real political science skills, and who isn't a celebrity. How about somebody you've never heard of before? Think about it, people. We don't have time to change the Democratic Party. And in the entire life I've been in this political scene, all the people that come into either the Democrats or the Republicans saying they're going to change the party is nonsense. When have you ever gone into a workplace and started to change it somehow? You're at the beginning. You're just a little nothing down at the bottom. You're not going to change anything. The best way to change is by bringing up a new party. Let it run for 10 years, get rid of it, get a new party. Every time the corruption shows its head, get rid of the party. Get a new fresh batch of people. That's my advice on that. So, the busy thing has come back again. It's hard for me to get some time for videos, but I'll try and work on it. And I appreciate all the comments and your ups and the downs and a lot of new subscribers. Go ahead, subscribe. It can't hurt. Until next time.